Nabis was set up 10 years ago to fight the criminal use of firearms. It provides fast-time ballistic intelligence to police forces and law enforcement across the UK.
So Blush was an Merseyside Police serious organised crime investigation into 19 firearms discharges that involved the same firearm, a Beretta 9000S, which we call Link Series 4.
By working with Nabis and police forces, we can identify firearms used in crime, we can identify firearms that are being used multiple times, and we can provide the national firearms threat picture around the criminal use of firearms that impacts on policing and our communities.
Yeah, we recovered some key weapons that included the Beretta 9000, an Uzi submachine gun, a Baikal handgun, two shotguns, and then some other handguns as well.
We've linked the Beretta 9000 in this case to 19 different shooting incidents. So that's what we mean by the most used weapon. We've never seen a weapon that's been used in so many different incidents before.
Back in 2010, they told us that when it was used the first time in Kirby, that actually on Merseyside it had actually been used in Scotland, and then we saw other discharges where, when work was done in our partnership with Nabis, they identified that the same gun was involved.
What we're doing is we're looking at the markings on the cartridge cases and the bullets. The markings on the cartridge case and the bullet, you get what we call family characteristics, which indicate the actual type of gun, in this case a Beretta 9000. And then you have fine detail characteristics, unique characteristics, which, as the name suggests, are only produced by the weapon that actually fired it.
We targeted and ran a covert operation because we believe Link Series 4 was under the control or around James Lunt from Wavertree and Adam Bigley, who are linked to Kirby. Professional undercover officers then observed a meeting where James Lunt and hangers-on met with Adam Bigley and his hangers-on, and he used a children's playground in the Wavertree area where other members of the community with children were using that playground. We believe the gun was handed over to Adam Bigley. He went back to his home address, and it was soon after armed officers entered his home address that we found that gun, Link Series 4, the Beretta 9000, hidden in a false compartment behind the toilet.
This is the primer, this is where the firing pin strikes. As the firing pin strikes, it makes a firing pin impression, potentially the unique markings in that. But then, on this particular weapon, the metal flows back into the firing pin tunnel and leaves shear marks and breech face marks on the soft metal of the primer. And those markings are unique to that particular weapon.
There was a wall of silence around this gun and with the people who were the victims of this gun in the targeted attacks. On the last shooting, the individual involved was shot in Stevenson Street in Wavertree in May 2017. He'd been on a motorcycle, so luckily for him, he was wearing a motorcycle helmet, but he was shot 7 times. One of those was in the head. The question I would pose to the community of Merseyside: why is it someone like that would not help Merseyside Police, who were doing everything they could in order to find those responsible?
If you look on the screen here, you've actually got 2 cartridge cases, but both fired in the same weapon. And these fine striation marks, these unique details, like a fingerprint, are all matching up. And so I would say those 2 cartridge cases are fired in one weapon and no other.
We will take those firearms off the streets and we will continue the work that we're doing. Sometimes we've found these individuals will change the way they work, thinking that they will thwart us, but Merseyside Police isn't going anywhere. And what we will see, continued success as we have, where we continue to target these individuals who may still be out there, and we'll continue to recover any weapons that are out there so the communities can go about their law-abiding business.